Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the University Love, the best podcast in uno, dos, tres galaxies. But ladies and gentlemen, you and I, we just call this show Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Thursday, April the 11th, 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? How are you? How are you? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Today, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about something very exciting, very fun for you today. I am going to tell you why you should never jump on it. You should never jump on a trend unless you are in the top 1% of jumping on the trend. But for the most part, ladies and gentlemen, don't jump on trends, okay? Because you will get yourself into a world of trouble, or there will be no money for you left at the end of the hotness. Okay? And now I am going to talk to you today about truck driving. It's something I know. It is something I am very familiar with. I remember during COVID. Now, for a lot of you, you were sitting around your house watching Shark Tank or Joe Exotic, things of that nature. Most people were stuck in the house. A lot of people were stuck in the house. Some people were out and about. I was one of those people out and about. My wife the other day, she said, "Man, you remember COVID? Blah blah blah." I said, "Not me. I was going to work every day. I was driving over here, driving over there, picking up toilet paper, picking up beer, picking up soap, picking up everything. You know, I was out every day, out and about. I come home. My wife was kind of bored, but anyway, the point of all that is to say, I remember at some point and during that whole year, all of a sudden, you start seeing more and more people buying trucks, more and more people claiming they're truck drivers. All of a sudden, more and more people on the internet, on YouTube, on TikTok, on this one, on that one. Hey, get in the truck driving, blah 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 blah. And I thought to myself, they just don't know, I have been driving since the early 2000s. If they would have asked me, I would have told them, don't do it. It's a fad. Trucking goes up, trucking goes down. Trucking goes up, trucking goes down. Now, if you want to get into truck driving, by all means, I guess, would I buy a truck? Absolutely not. Would I stay in truck driving long if I was you? If I could go back, I would never do it. But I got in it. It was good for me because I was a single man at the time. I had nothing going on where I grew up. And so I got into truck driving, and it is what it is. But for you, I'm telling you, from me to you, if you want to buy a truck right now, don't do it. If you ever want to buy a truck, don't do it. Unless you have money to buy 3 or 2, I would not do it. And I heard this joke from a great wrestling manager. And he applied it to the wrestling business. He said, "What's the best way to make $5 million in the wrestling business? Start off with 10. What's the best way to make $2 million in the trucking business? Start off with 4 million." Okay. I'm just telling you the trend. Whenever I saw that, I already knew. I said, it won't be long. It'll bottom out. Fast forward to 2024, you see more people now. Oh man, this trucking company's shutting down. These owner operators are turning into the trucks. The freight is low. The freight is bad. The rates are bad. The rates are terrible. Oh man, people got to stop taking all these bad rates. People got to stop working with this company, that company. They suck. They suck. They suck. Whenever you jump on a trend, whenever you see a bunch of people doing it, don't Don't. It's like it's like seeing a fire, seeing a house on fire, and you run into the building when they already gotten out everybody. You're gonna be the last one, and you're going to inhale all the smoke. And unfortunately for you, in this case, in this instance, we're talking business. You're gonna die. Okay, your business is gonna die. There's a growing. I see a lot of people. My wife sent me a thing one day. They was talking CMOS. CMOS, CMOS, CMOS. CMOS is all the rage. CMOS is all the craze. Can you imagine? You come 2025. Here you go. You say, hey, I'm about to fire up the CMOS business. It's already been done. Now, if you have a passion for it, because we all know there are plenty of drinks, there are plenty of health bars, there are plenty of snack bars, plenty of food, but people come up with a product every day. But you know why they come up with a product? They have an idea, they know how to they want to market it, they tell a great story. I'm talking about stuff that I know for a fact is just like, this ain't gonna work. And buying a truck, it's fashionable for a minute, but then it always goes up, it always goes down, it always goes up, it always goes down. People have to buy food. So if you have a food product that you want to promote, you want to sell, you want to tell a story, your grandma came up with this recipe and blah 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 blah, and you have a great story, you market it great, and you make a boatload of money. Congratulations. Everybody needs to buy food. But if you're one of these people who see, oh man, this is the hot trend, and you see a bunch of people doing it, it ain't for you. Don't do it. Do not do it. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out, it doesn't have to be something that you quote unquote passionate about. A lot of people say chase after your passion. I was never passionate about truck driving. Never. I liked it. I fell in like with it. Never fell in love with it. Never. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was nice. Had a nice time. Never fell in love. Never was my passion. I never woke up. I didn't wake up when I was 6 years old and said, God, diesel is running through my veins. No, never happened. Okay. I said, I need a job. It's something I think I can do. I started it. I got pretty good at it. I did it. And that was that. It wasn't like something like, ooh, everybody's buying. I didn't seek out to buy a truck. I didn't buy a truck for a long time. I didn't seek out to buy a truck. I just wanted to learn how to drive. I drove. And, another mistake that people make is, you know, you buy the one truck, and you're if you want to make money, buying one truck, one trailer, and you driving in it, you're gonna make a nice living. You're gonna make a decent living, but you're never gonna get like, hey, I can quit this job tomorrow. Because if you're not driving the truck, then you're not making any money. That you just buying yourself a self-employed job, which is cool if that's what you want to do. A lot of times, a lot of you people, a lot of you young people, a lot of the youth of the day, they want to you know sort of work 3 hours a week or something like that, spend more time with their kid. Something, one of the biggest, not to get off on the subject, but one of the biggest scams that people try to tell you online, they always talk about how they want to spend more time with their kids. Wouldn't you just like to hook up a camera to all these people houses who are like, I had to get out of the rat race. I wanted to spend more time with my kids, and they probably don't spend that they probably don't spend that much time with their kids. It's amazing what people are saying sometimes. I remember once, not to go off on a tangent, but this is part of the hit part of the hypocrisy of the world. Okay, I remember one time I worked evenings. I worked at the prison. I worked at a prison way back in the day. Worked at this prison, and I remember I was working 3:30 to 11:30 every day, Tuesday through Saturday. It was pretty cool. I was like 22 at the time, so I didn't mind 23. I didn't mind working that them hours. And I remember this lady. She was might have been a couple years older than me, probably about the same age, but she was boohooing and crying. Oh, I can't spend no time with my kids. I see and she was off on Mondays and Tuesdays. So your kids you wake your kids up. You see them before they go to school. They get off the bus at 3 o'clock, and you can spend 2 evenings with them. You go to work. You wake up in the morning on the weekends. They're there. You go to work. Okay, they're asleep when you get back, but you wake up in the morning, and you spend the afternoon. You spend the morning and the afternoon with them. But according to her, that wasn't enough. And I thought to myself, this lady's full of BS, because before I had a baby, I would hear these people, and you would think that having a kid was like the biggest, oh my God, these kids are all on me, blah 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 blah. Now I will say this: I love my daughter. I love spending time with my daughter. Every now and then, you know, she flips out. She has moments, but she's two, and I always think to myself, I think to myself, let me go tag my wife. Tag, you're in. And every now and then she has the same reaction. But you just need a little break. I don't need to be like, let me go away for 5. I need to get away from my child for 5 days. Never. Well, when I'm not working, if I travel, and child comes with me. It's just the way it is. I like her. Like spending time with her, like hanging out with her, because I already know when she's gonna get older, she's gonna get a certain age, she's gonna be like, man, this guy is not cool. I don't want to be around this joker. Hopefully, she won't be like that. But no, they become teenagers. They're like, hey, 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 and I'll be definitely a little older. But when my child graduates high school, I'll be turning 60. So boom, boom goes the dynamite. There you go. But I say all that to say trends are very you have to watch the trends. If you see a lot of people doing this, a lot of people doing that. Now, I know on this show we talk about affiliate marketing, we talk about multi-level marketing, and a lot of people do jump into those things. But the difference with that and the difference with let's say jumping in and buying a truck, the difference is there are going to be a lot of people who jump in, and a lot of people jumping at everything. But I'm just telling you, the way they promote the trucking, the way they promote the how much money you can make, it's a flat out lie. With the multi level marketing, affiliate marketing, starting an online business, start any business, that there's a fact that you might not make it. There's competition. What you need to do. There's a way to go about and do it. With truck driving, you see people buying trucks, and you're like, now what? You got to pay for the tires. You got to do this. You got to do that. So always be mindful of whenever somebody is talking to you about trends, whenever somebody's telling you to jump into this, jump into that, always keep one eye open. Keep one eye open on them. Study the thing for yourself. See if it's something you want to do. Don't follow things just for money purposes. If there's something that you always say, hey, I always wanted to try that. I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel. Start a YouTube channel. Don't start a YouTube channel because, man, you know what? Man, I've been thinking I've heard you can become a super millionaire off YouTube. Most of us are not gonna become millionaires having a YouTube channel. I'm definitely not. I use YouTube to upload the podcast. It's cool. I hope I get more, I plan on getting more subscribers, more followers. All that stuff is good. But I don't expect to have 100 million YouTube subscribers. Like the WWE or Mr. Beast or one of these type of people, I don't expect to have 10 million people, you just have to be realistic, and whenever you want to start something, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you want to start a trucking company, if you want to get into the world of trucking, have something, tie on something into the trucking, whether you write a book, you do affiliate marketing, you start a YouTube channel, have something that can help the income out, whenever you want to whenever you want to create a business, whenever you want to create a strategy, always be thinking, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, always be thinking what how much more, you know what can I get. It's like whenever you take people to a website, they buy one product. You always, I don't know if you've ever bought a product online, but if you buy a product, let's say you buy a book from somebody, they normally say, hey, before you go, because the best time to hit somebody up is when they're already buying something. It's just like when I used to go to Foot Locker and buy shoes. I would go to Foot Locker and they would pull out the spray. I would buy the white Reeboks way back, and they would say, hey, you want to get some spray? And I say, hey, why not? Throw that in there. They're like, what about some some shoelaces? Socks? Why not? Throw that in there, Best time to get another sale is after you already got the first sale from somebody, okay? So be mindful of that. And be thinking about that whenever you are wanting to start, I'm telling you, if you see it's just like people all of a sudden they want to be in the stock market. You could be in the stock market, but I would not, and I talked about this before in the show. I would not take financial advice from people on YouTube. I would not. If all of a sudden you see somebody and they're like, "Hey man, I just got into the stock market. Hey man, I've just started doing sports gambling." I would not take their advice. Do your own research. Yeah, of course, we all should be in the stock market. We all should try to, you know, figure out, hey, how can I make my money work for me? That is the best idea that any of us can do. Whether you own a business, whether you have some money into real estate, whether you have some money into another company. It's nice to say, hey, you waking up and you have one stream of income that you don't have to focus on every day like a job. You want to actually be like, oh, I made $1,000 this month off this. Great, that's excellent, and that is one of the goals that you want to strive for. So that's why I tell people, I know it was trendy for a while. Hey man, get in a truck, buy a truck, and blah 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 blah. No 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 no. Figure out how can I make money in this in how can I make money in this industry without having to be in the industry 24/7. You want to work hard. I'm not saying that, but because things are gonna happen, just like if you get in the truck driving, freight's gonna get low, freight's gonna get slow. In January, it's dead. January is a bad time. So if you are, you know, having books, you created a course, something like that, something to have a backup plan. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, don't I've seen enough people they're trying to promote truck driving courses. I would not buy from any of them people. But I'm saying if you're legit and you're actually in the truck and you're actually doing a service, doing a business, I would look into that kind of stuff. You always want to be building. You always want to be building on top of the business, on top of the thing that you are doing. That's the whole point of this episode. I know we talked about truck driving and don't get into it, but the whole point of this episode is to say, hey, you get into something, always be thinking about what else can I do? What else can I do? How else can I create some money? Speaking engagements, a course, uh, anything. Always be thinking about what's next. Always be thinking about how can I add. How can I add on? How can I add on? How can I put on? Because the worst thing you can do is, I'm telling you, just have one thing and then you're relying on that. It's like having one job. You want to have a job, but if you have a job, that's cool. But you want to figure out, how can I make a little extra money on the side? Because you never know when those jobs are going to freak out, and you don't want to be this. And this is the main thing. This is the whole point of this episode. You don't want to be tied. You don't want to have to be dependent on a job. You don't want to have to be dependent on a place to give you money so you can pay your bills, give you money so you can feed your family. Because then if they do something you don't like and you're like, what you have to go to work, and that sucks. Trust me, it sucks. I know that feeling. And it's like, oh. And I remember when I was young, and I would saving money was hard, you know? And it was just like, this sucks. And then I remember I started saving some money, and I started having like a couple $1,000s in the bank, $3,000 in the bank, $4,000 in the bank. And it's like, all right, you know what? I ain't got to put up with this. If I don't feel like going to work today, I can miss a day. I got money. I got a backup plan. I got an emergency savings. And that's the thing you want the most, because the better you're financially stable, the more ability you have to think, the more ability you have to create, the less stress you have in life, the happier you'll be. And money's not everything. Of course, we all know that. I know a lot of people say, money's important. Don't get me wrong. It's better to have more of it than none of it. A lot of people say, I don't need money, blah blah blah. Hey, listen, I got a pool in my backyard. I need money. Pool chemicals ain't cheap. Okay, but I'm happy to have the pool. I'm blessed to have the pool. And what do I do to keep the pool? Hey, gotta make the extra cash. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, but don't jump on trends just to jump on trends. If it's something you like, something you thought about, something that you might want to do, look into it. If it's cold, it's just like right now. Trucking is cold. If you ever thought about trucking, if you really, really, really have thought about trucking, and you're like, hey, it's something I want to do, get into it. Doesn't matter what time, hot, cold. But if you're one of these people who never thought about it, and all of a sudden they say, hey man, bruh, buy your box truck, bruh. This is the way to go, bruh. It ain't for you. Okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, just because it's trendy, don't mean it's hot. Don't mean it's for you. Okay? My name is Tony Rizano. We will be back tomorrow with the all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, I appreciate you for listening. Share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about the best podcast in the galaxy. And we'll be back tomorrow with all new episode. But until then, God bless. And as always, everybody, peace.